How's it feel to get back in the win column?
It feels really nice. It's been a long time since I got a win in the UFC, and to drop weight class and try to start something new, it's a big deal. Last year was a tough year. 2015 was probably one of the toughest years of my career, with 3 losses, 3 really tough opponents. So dropping that weight, coming in and getting a win against somebody like KJ Noons it's a big deal. It feels good.
How you feel about your performance?
Average. The weight cut was really tough on me, and it didn't come off like I thought it would early enough. I got to Vegas 175 pounds, and that didn't move until the day before I had to weigh in. So I had to basically lose 18 pounds in less than 24 hours from Thursday night to Friday afternoon. And I was cutting weight all the way till I had to weigh in. And I recovered pretty good, but I could feel that I was a little heavy from the weight cut. So it's something that I'll be able to critique and make a little bit better, and it's one of those things that I'll take positive from it and get better out of it, So, but part of the performance is my game plan was to keep some range with KJ, because I knew I was a little faster with the kicks and then come into punching range. But every time I tried to come into punching range, his level change and his head movement was awesome, and he would catch me. So I had to mid-fight try to figure out how to game plan against that, and that's what took me into my wrestling and clinch and work against the cage. I knew I had to get a win, but KJ, his head movement is real tricky. So I haven't faced anybody with that kind of head movement before.
How's your shoulder feeling? I see that you have the ice pack there.
Yeah, it's a little sore. I threw a hard right hand early in the fight, and I felt my shoulder didn't quite want to work normal the rest of the fight. So I think that was part of. Feels maybe like it's my rotator cuff or something, but we'll see. It might just be a kick or something, but I figured a little ice on it right away would help it recover faster, maybe, because I feel good, and I would like to get back at it before I put too much weight on again.
Going back to this weight cut, I mean, how much concern was there with how it was going to affect your performance tonight? You're in a new weight class, shaving off that much weight in a 24-hour period.
Right.
What was going through your head heading into the cage tonight?
I just tried to be as positive as possible, thinking, the more weight I had on, the more that I would put back on, but I put on over 25 pounds. I went all the way up to 180, so I think taking that kind of weight off, putting it back on, that's 50 pounds, of changes within a 24-hour period, and I think I can just do a little bit better figuring that out, but I think that extra weight kind of helped against KJ. He seemed like he was a big lightweight too. I didn't have too much weight on him, I wouldn't think, but it's funny, I saw Hendricks earlier today walking around, and I was like, what'd you get back to? He's like, 180. He's like, what'd you get back to? I was like, 180. So fighting lightweight, and he's still welterweight, we still ended up being the same weight. But say it's the first time I've done that, and it was an experience, and I know that my performances can get better from critiquing my weight cut.
How much is it as just the fight to lose the weight? Because that's a huge hidden fight that most people have no idea about.
Right. It was a big deal. I mean, like I said, I was cutting weight all the way till we had to go. I was late to weigh-ins, by about 15 minutes, because I was cutting all the way till just below. I cut for 2 hours and 50 minutes.
How'd you do it?
I did it, Abilene plastic suit, ran and walked on the treadmill for about an hour, laid down under towels, then I went and did the rest in the sauna in the steam room. But usually to cut 7 pounds the day of weigh-ins is average, 7 or 8 pounds, and I can do that in about an hour and 15 minutes. And it took me 2 hours and 50 minutes to cut 11 pounds that day. And then I cut 8 more the night before that, so it was, like I say, 20 pounds in a 12-hour, 20-hour period. But the weight cut was over, and I was like, oh, this is great. But walking back to the hotel room, I tried to hydrate. I threw up on the way back to the hotel room. I was laying in my bed, shaking a little bit, and it just felt like my system was coming back, and it was intense. But then once it was over and I started to hydrate and feel better, I knew I was all right, So It was an intense weight cut. It's something I can get better at, and I expect to have better performances figuring that out. Like 3 weeks ago, I was 190 pounds. You know what I mean? So it's a hell of a weight cut.
You talked about the rough year that you had last year. How important was it for you to go in there and put on the performance that you did and get back into the win column? Was that like just, did you feel like your back was up against the wall at all?
You know, I didn't feel it till we were going into the third round. And I just was sitting there and listening to my corners, and I just knew, listen, your career's on the line. You know, if you don't dig down and win this third round, then, you know, you might be fighting somewhere else. So I felt it, but I didn't feel it till the third round. You know, I really had a lot of confidence going into this fight with KJ. I thought I was going to win it a little bit easier, but KJ gained my respect and hits hard. So, yeah, it was a big win, you know, and I really think it's just the beginning at lightweight, because I know that I'm going to get a lot better. I know there's some things that I can do that are going to make me a much better fighter at this weight class. I think I had an average performance, and like I said, I know that I can put it together a little bit better.